Well, let's turn our focus to what's been happening in the capital city of Karnataka in Bengaluru. The city is drowning not just in rain, but in apathy on the part of the ruling dispensation there led by the Congress party. 3 rain-related deaths in just 2 days, but the government looks the other way. No funds for promises made in the manifesto, but crores for a grand gala. As the city sings, the Congress celebrates, but what exactly is it celebrating? Is this the model of governance that the Congress party wants to showcase? Well, that's a question that many are asking after the city once again has been inundated in rain after a heavy bout of rainfall. The infrastructure clearly there, not capable of withstanding the elements, and the people, of course, have been left in the lurch. Once again, unfortunately, the death toll in Bengaluru has now climbed to 3. A woman had lost her life yesterday, and unfortunately 2 more people have died subsequently then as a result of electrocution, is what we're getting to hear. Now, the administration there says they're taking all the steps possible to ensure that there's some relief to the residents of the city, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Bengaluru continues to suffer as a result of what many people are now calling maladministration or misgovernance. Now, the so-called Silicon Valley of India is paralyzed each time the skies open up. Killer potholes, electric wires that have been completely exposed, choked drains, all lying in wait like landmines in a war zone that was built by negligence. A 35-year-old woman called Shashikala, who was working as a sweeper in a private company in Whitefield, died after a wall of the building collapsed. Subsequently, a 12-year-old child and a 63-year-old man were electrocuted when they tried to pump out water in their house in South Bengaluru. They did not die because it rained, they died because nobody cared. So that's another instance of apathy now coming to the fore as a result of what's been happening in Bengaluru. Here's a report that's been filed by my colleague Neha Hebale.
2 people were electrocuted in an apartment in southeast Bengaluru over here in the BTM layout. Well, these happen to be the 2nd and 3rd rain-related deaths that are being reported in the IT capital. Well, right here at the Madhuvan apartment in BTM layout, we're being told that in fact a 63-year-old man along with a 12-year-old boy were electrocuted while the man in fact was attempting to switch on a motor to pump out water that had in fact accumulated, that was stagnated in the basement of this very apartment, and that's when we in fact reportedly he in fact died of an electric shock is what is being said. It's really quite unfortunate that of course another 12-year-old boy as well passed away along with him in this instance. Well, in this entire cellar of this apartment is where water was filled, and as he was trying to switch on a pump there, as he was trying to switch on the motor, is when he was electrocuted and he died. Of course, most unfortunate, this is the 3rd death now that's coming to light from Bengaluru. Even as residents have no respite from the rains right now, we'll really have to wait and see as to how much the government is able to do before the monsoon actually arrives, because remember, these are still pre-monsoon showers that the city has been witnessing.
Now, as the city of Bengaluru continues to battle with relentless rains and civic apathy, the death toll has unfortunately now climbed to 3. And with mounting public outrage, political temperatures have been rising as well. A Bharatiya Janata Party delegation today visited the rain-affected areas in Bengaluru to assess the situation on the ground. Party leaders were seen walking through waterlogged streets, interacting with residents and also holding symbolic placards, each one a direct question to the Congress-led state government led by Siddaramaiah. So the Bharatiya Janata Party has also, of course, taken this up very aggressively in Bengaluru, protesting against what's been happening and also, of course, interacting with a lot of discontented and disgruntled residents in different parts of Bengaluru. The report that was brought by my colleague Neha was from BTM layout, where 2 people lost their lives, unfortunately a 12-year-old child as well as another senior citizen who were trying to basically pump out water in their locality and were electrocuted as a result. Now, BTM layout also happens to be a prominent part of South Bengaluru, where a lot of people working in the IT sector have residences. So it's a fairly upmarket part of town as well, where this tragedy has unfolded. I have my colleagues Neha as well as Imran joining us right now as we speak. Let me go across to my colleague Neha first and foremost, who brought us that report from BTM layout. Neha, unfortunately, tragically, the death toll has now climbed to 3 people, a 12-year-old among those who've died so far. You brought us that report from BTM layout. Take us through what else has been happening.
Well, Siddharth, probably for the first time in 2 days, it seems like the sun has, decided to come out and grace Bengalurans today. It's been a harrowing 48 hours for the citizens of the city, many of who have been locked up in their homes without access to basics like electricity, water, food. We brought reports yesterday as well establishing how, food and water had to quite literally be thrown up to people residing in their homes, only because the roads were so waterlogged that you had to use boats and tractors to reach these people. Unfortunate that, all in a span of 48 hours, there's been 3 deaths that have been reported, all rain-related in the city. And, of course, as far as the situation now is concerned, the city slowly seems to be grappling and coming back to normalcy, while, of course, some of the areas of eastern Bengaluru still remain waterlogged. Areas like Silk Port, which are a little further south, are also, in fact, gradually coming back to normalcy as water is being pumped out. But one thing, of course, that still remains is the anger in the citizens. These are just pre-monsoon showers that have left the city, brought it to a grinding halt almost, left the city down on its knees. What's going to happen in the monsoon is a big, big question mark and a huge concern for the citizens.
Right, Neha, stay with us. Let me go across to my colleague Imran. Imran, while the residents of Bengaluru continue to suffer, Rahul Gandhi happens to be in the state of Karnataka. This is also, of course, coinciding with the 2-year anniversary of the Siddaramaiah government that came to power in May 2023. Take us through this particular contrast, in attitudes, this contrast in pictures, in terms of the Congress party's apathy towards the plight of the residents of Bengaluru that we're currently witnessing.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the 3 people have died in Bengaluru because of the rains, and it has hit the image of brand Bengaluru, what the Congress is trying to present in Bengaluru there. In fact, we are right now in Hospete, where the Congress is celebrating 2 years of the formation of the government there during this event, where they are trying to give 1 lakh pattas to the people there. But this event is marred by the deaths there in Bengaluru, where opposition is questioning about Rahul Gandhi and saying that what he has to answer about the 3 deaths which have happened. We have some Congress leaders here. Let me take them to the question here. Pradeep, I've asked my cameraman to ask him, sir, what do you have to say? There is 3 deaths have happened in Bengaluru, but BJP is saying that you should have not be celebrating this event.
सर ये तो अभी ऑलरेडी ये किया हुआ था, अरेंज किया हुआ था, उसके बाद में हुआ है वो. इससे पहले बीजेपी तो भी बहुत किया हुआ है. हाँ, बीजेपी का भी फॉल्ट है उसमें. अभी बारिश तो आ गई है वो. अभी फंक्शन इससे पहले तो अरेंज हो गया था. हाँ.
So they say, he said, he heard it, that this event was organized pretty much before, and this is not to be Congress, not to be held accountable. But the BJP is saying it is the same charges the Congress had leveled, that there are water flow is happening here. Another senior Congress leader is with us. Sir, what do you have to say? BJP is saying that you should not have been organizing, celebrating like this when 3 people have died in Bengaluru.
You don't want to see, the nature has also blessed us. It's a will of the God to celebrate. We have spent almost 90,000 crores in the development of people's livelihood. See, you have seen the inflations in crude oil and all. It's a celebration from the people of the Karnataka. They are blessed. Even the God's willing is there.
But what do you have to say to BJP's allegation that 3 people have died in the state?
See, there are many. I'll just check with regard to the records of the 3 people, right? And we pay the condolence to the families of the people who have died.
So, but BJP is not happy with just the condolence. In fact, they are attacking the Congress.
It's quite shocking what the man just said. He said it's the will of the gods for us to celebrate. It's quite a callous statement to make, is it not? And perhaps you could ask that to the other congressmen present at the venue as well.
So BJP is saying that they should not have been celebrating when 3 people have died in the city. But you should have some concern for the people there. What do you have to say to the allegations?
No, work is going on. Our government is doing good. Biggest program, lakhs together people is coming. You're talking about the BJP's allegations. We should celebrate here.
But they're saying that you attacked them when they were in power, saying that Bengaluru is bad, roads have been clogged. The same situation when Congress has come to power. You talked about brand Bengaluru. What do you have to say on that?
Our work is in progress. Give me some time. I will give the result, good result. What we are given assurance during the election time, definitely will deliver that.
2 years have happened, sir.
It's going on, no? It's rainy season. Every rainy season is common in Bangalore city. It's not properly planned city earlier.
But you promised to change the scene. You came on the promise that you will change the whole dynamics of it. So if BJP is same, you are same. What do you have to say to the people of common Bengaluru?
Another 3 years we have a time. Exactly will change. BJP is disastered earlier. We have time. Definitely will change. What we give an assurance during the election, definitely will deliver.
So they say, give us more time, we will deliver. But the BJP is saying that this is what the Congress had attacked them and promised and came back to power. But they have been failing to deliver. In fact, they have been projecting, is saying that's banned Bengaluru, and banned Bengaluru under Congress will be with something which they were promised to deliver. But they have failed. Even when 3 people have died in the city, many of the common citizens of Bengaluru, whether they were BJP,
stay with us. We're also being joined by S. Prakash of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Prakash, what do you have to say about the contrasting pictures that we currently see on our screens right now in Hospet? The Congress party is, of course, commemorating the completion of 2 years in governance in Karnataka, while the capital city of Bengaluru drowns in apathy.
Half the Bangalore is drowned. 3 people have lost their lives. Even today, many roads are flooded, and the people have not been able to come out of their houses. Misery of people are unmitigated, and there is nobody to listen to them from the ruling party. Every MLA is in Hospet. The Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister made a visit to the Bangalore as a formality, and they have gone back to Hospet to deliver their speeches. The 2 years achievement is very much in front of Bangaloreans since yesterday. Whatever they claim in Hospet is a stark contrast to what's happening in Bangalore. They have no empathy towards the people of Bangalore who have supported the Congress party in the previous election. It is very unfortunate. They are in suffering of the Bangaloreans. They are celebrating in Hospet.
One more question to you, sir, because the Congress party is alleging that this is very much a legacy issue as well. And the Bharatiya Janata Party, which also has ruled Karnataka in the past, is not completely blameless. They're as much responsible for the poor state of infrastructure in Bangalore as much as the Congress is. How would you respond to that? How would you respond to that allegation on the part of the Congress party?
Sir, we lost the election because people did not approve our work in 2023. It is on high promises Congress party came back to power in Karnataka. In the last 2 years, they are unable to undertake a single infrastructure project. They should answer to this. What were they doing in the last 2 years? Let them demonstrate, let them exhibit one work they have completed in Bangalore. The metro yellow line is completed for the last 6 months, and they are unable to run the services because there is no bogie to run the service. This is the kind of planning they have done, and there is no work undertaken. Bangalore has been destroyed by D.K. Shivkumar's grand plans. He is more interested in tunnel roads, sky deck projects, white tapping, greater Bangalore, adding more areas to Bangalore city, only to inflate the real estate prices and make more money out of it. Let him not point finger about previous government. Let him focus on what was promised by them. Have they completed it? They should answer to the people of Bangalore.
All right, Mr. S. Prakash of the BJP, thank you for giving your perspective on this developing story. We'll slip into a short break right now. We'll come back with more on this and much else on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.